It's showtime.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thumb up the video, comment in the comment section. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. All right, so watch all ads without skipping, become a YouTube premium member, become a channel member, donate through Super Thanks. If you don't want to do super thanks, donate through Cash App. That's $Spade Parkland. Thumb up the video, comment in the comment section, share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. If watching on a cell phone and see the hype button, click and hype me up. All right, got a whole list. So this video is going to be a little bit different because instead of us just jumping in the video, we're going to start off with donations because one of the donations and members videos has inspired this video. All right, let's get started. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Straight Cheese 29829. I'm sorry. Thank you, Straight Cheese 2892 for the super thanks. I appreciate it. Sometimes it's a theory show, other times it's a comedy. Sometimes I am a comedian or a from median, if you will. Okay, I know it's corny.
Fail!
It's corny, but yeah, thank you. He says, I've watched all these folks give their opinions, and I'd probably even say they watched some of the episodes prior to us seeing, but there's a reason I give my donations to you. They not like you. Stretch them out yoga style. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And like I said in the opening, that the reason why I'm starting with donations first is because this circulatory video, the creatures consume the circulatory system theory. So I made that for channel members. Someone donated on the video and I posted it to the public like I do right now. It helps me remember who to thank in a video by putting it on the post tab. And after I thank the people on the post from the post tab, I delete it. Well, someone, a non-member, had commented and said, no, if they consume the creatures, they would if they consume the humans, they would show us. So they gave us a lot to come to the determination that they do, talking about the creatures, do consume people, and I'm going to show you later on in the video. So I responded with Straight Cheese 2892 and said, thank you, Straight Cheese 2892 for the super thanks. A lot of creators use press passes under the guise of rating episodes, but view an entire season in advance. Then they make videos. They make recap videos and theory videos, and they even go on panels and they do like a big me, little you and debunk what people theorize. So for example, let's say if season 4 episode 1 drops, it's a panel going on. Everyone's theorizing based off that episode 1 that they've seen. Someone who's used their press pass to see the entire season is going to get up there and say, no, that's not right. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can tell you that you're wrong. And people will do that to kind of like build clout on themselves and grow their following and kind of abuse the system and do a big me, little you. Hey, we ain't hating. It is what it is. But a lot of them, when they do that during the season, they're putting their videos out very quickly, like at midnight when each episode drops, they drop their video. And then after the season's over with, or really after each episode, they'll do a live stream, and they're not really creative with theorizing because they haven't really developed that part of their brain to actually be creative. Not putting anyone down. I'm just saying this. There's a reason why theorizing is an art. It's a skill. To think of what if, like Jim did on the wall in the Matthews home before it got destroyed. He was putting stuff on the wall and asking what if and asking questions. and then coming up with theories. People who don't really do that and haven't developed that skill and they kind of rely on their press passes, when they theorize, it just doesn't make any sense. They can't defend their position. They're all over the place. So I appreciate Straight Cheese. I appreciate you for donating and recognizing me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And so they can't give spoilers, so it's not illegal or anything. It's just unethical and immoral. But that's up for debate. I'd say their videos and live streams may be lower quality because they are basically answering tests with a cheat sheet versus learning the material to master concepts. And that's how I can produce theory videos for a year plus without breaking a sweat, because I actually watch and learn. And you and others do too who are here. So thank you, especially because season 3 ended 2024 and it's 2025 December, and we're still here talking theories and just hanging out together. So I appreciate it. So thanks for watching, and thank you for the super thanks again. I appreciate it. Okay, got a couple more and then we'll get right into the video. So thank you, Adventurous Exile, for the super thanks. I appreciate it. Got helicopters going on. Got the helicopters. So Parkland, I'm kind of hyped about a new idea. What if the picture on the talisman is actually the merry-go-round? The first thing we see the boy in white do after his first appearance in the beginning is go on the merry-go-rounds, and the little things outside of the center of the talisman stones or talismans look like wind showing the direction it might be turned, and it ends it having 2 people on it or having 1 person transforming into something. I think that's a really good observation. I like it. I might do a video and quote Adventurous Exile. Thank you for being a channel member as well. So I responded, thanks for the super thanks. There is a merry-go-round painting with children, and that's in Henry's basement, and a picture in the behind the scenes art. The merry-go-round being a portal would be awesome. That would be awesome. It'd be interesting because when you think about it, okay, the lighthouse has to be a portal because Tabitha went out of it, and there's portals all around, more than likely because Julie's going to story walk season 4 and 5 and do that. She went through one portal that was the ruins, so there's probably portals everywhere to do shortcuts within Fromville and everything, and then even leaving Fromville, going back to, I guess, Maine, or maybe the portals in different locations go to other parts of the United States. Who knows? But we know that the one else on the top of the lighthouse took Tabitha to Maine. We don't know if the boy in white controlled that portal or if that was like a standard, you go to Maine because of this time of the day, or this is a Maine portal. We don't know. But thank you, Adventurous Exile, for being a channel member and donating through super thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so thank you, Mike O'Sullivan, for the super thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Everybody feeling the love.
Yes. He says, I see a lot of Jacob and the boy in white, all mysterious movement and muddy intent, largely absent. Been around a long time. Regardless, the pieces on the board as pawns in his grand scheme. But similarly, he might still be the best of a bad lot in that town. Get in the tree and don't ask questions. Oh, Nathan got shivved. Que sera, sera. So that's talking about the last video I just did about the boy in white told Sarah to get in the tree using Nathan's name. And it's like, well, wait a minute, Nathan, when do you and Nathan have a conversation? When would Nathan think that this place was bad now when, while he's in Fromville, it's considered good in the golden age? I mean, it was so good during that time period that Donna was saying that what they had at Colony House before the creatures came in and decimated everything, that, or let's just say gave them a bad night, Donna was saying that we got a good thing going on here. We don't want to go home. So if Nathan is in that point in time of Fromville, season 1, people don't want to go home. Everybody's happy. Boyd even had I forgot how many days, but so many different days since the last incident, with the last incident being Frank. No, the last incident being Abby playing duck hunt and Boyd having to take her out. That was the last time there was an incident when they found the talisman stones. And after that point was Frank. So before Frank and after Abby, it was peace on earth. So good that Donna was like, I like it here. So for Nathan to say to the boy in white that this place is angry now, it doesn't make sense. And I think the boy in white should get the side eye, because before the Colony House massacre, Victor was out there digging graves on the previous episode. Digging mass graves, told Donna, I want to get a head start this time. And then when Victor heard all the screaming, instead of investigating to see what's going on, he told Julie, it's starting now. So, and then the boy in white told Victor that Tabitha would be going beneath her basement after digging, because Victor told Tabitha that after she fell through her basement. So the boy in white has been playing puppet master. In my opinion, he's been orchestrating stuff. I think the Colony House massacre was an inside job. Also, how did Victor know that Boyd was going on a journey if Victor is like basically in the cave to waiting on Tabitha from the Colony House massacre? I mean, Victor was down there for maybe a day, at least a day or two, because after the Colony House massacre, Julie eventually went back to the Matthews house. And then they had the whole thing with the radio on top of Colony House. So that was a significant amount of time between the radio attempt, talking to the man in the yellow suit, and from the Colony House massacre. So Victor was down there in the cave chilling that whole time. So Victor's down there with the creatures in the dark. Unless Victor was really with the boy in white somewhere and then staged to meet with Tabitha before Tabitha fell through the ceiling. I mean, before Tabitha fell through the floor. So we don't know. Boy in white should get the side eye. Creatures get the side eye. It's a lot going on and no one's talking. So yeah. Nathan, I think Nathan was shivved. He was set up. I think the voices are the ones that made Sarah have her arm go back like that and use a scalpel to slice open Nathan's neck. And I'm going to say this much. I know there may be some medical professionals watching. Taking a scalpel and cutting open someone's throat while they are giving you resistance, and you're not slashing forward, you're slashing behind you without looking, and you hit right on the neck. That seems very unlikely. You go back with your arm with a scalpel and you do a perfect cut one time on Nathan's neck to where it's fatal with a scalpel, and it's behind you and you're fighting against Nathan getting away. And when he lets you go, your arm, while going behind your head, hits him in the neck. Come on, man. Now, if you are like, yeah, it's possible I could do it, I think you're gaslighting. I think you're lying. But you know what? There's no wrong answers. If you say it's possible, it's possible. So anyway, thank you, Michael Sullivan, for the super thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so Amanda Kenny, 4997. Let's do it right. Let's do it right. All right, first of her name, the MVP, She Who Shall Remain. Thank you for the super thanks, and thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate it. She says, trust but verify. My response was, Sarah should have trusted the townspeople and verified if her plan was a good idea others would want. Who wants to go home through the death of a teddy bear? You get to go home, but I mean, a teddy bear lost their life. Who would want to agree to that? Who'd want to agree to that? Nobody. some people would say, I don't really believe it. They probably would be no different than Christopher and say, you know what? Everything lies here. I don't trust it. So if Christopher was given that type of deal and he turned it down, I don't blame him. But Sarah was like, yeah. And we can unpack why Sarah may be like that. Just to kind of give my take on it, I would say that Sarah may have unfortunately been naive. So Sophia is going to be coming season 4. I think she's naive based off how she describes. I think Sarah was the same way. And that's why she was so susceptible to hearing voices and not immediately thinking, I'm going crazy. Even though the voices are telling her 2 vehicles are going to come into town and watch it and know that what we're telling you is the truth. The fact that she had a seizure on the floor in the diner after getting something written on her arm in a painful manner that said, kill the boy. So you took out Toby, you left the door open, you're still in Fromville. And now they want more. I would have, at that point, been like, okay, I gave you this guy, took out his tongue, made it look like the creatures did it, left the door open, Kenny's dad got it, plus the woman that was caring for Kenny's dad, and you want me to do more? Thanks, but no thanks. So yeah, definitely trust, but verify, because people be out here lying.
They bamboozled.
Yeah, they bamboozled Sarah. Now Sarah's lost her soul, but she can still help others find their way. I think towards the end of the series, it's going to be Sarah sacrificing herself, Victor sacrificing himself, Boyd sacrificing himself, and Jade and Tabitha. I think all 5 of those people are going to sacrifice themselves plus more for Julie and Ethan to be the survivors. I see everyone else thinking of others and thinking of wanting to get rid of the evil once and for all to like get revenge for Dale and other people. All right, so thank you, Mike O'Sullivan, for the super thanks, and thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love. Says, I reckon season 4 will open with a time jump. Our peeps will look kind of different, except Acosta and Colony House will be in open conflict with the town because the man in the yellow suit is employing divide and conquer tactics. Some residents will have actually sided with him because of his powers, promises, and protection. This will all disorient. I don't know. I can't talk right now. This will all disorientate the hell out of the Fromdom, but the Parkland set will take it in stride. Yeah. Yeah, it will be devastation to see who dies this season, season 4, which is going to be 2026. 2026 is in less than 30 days. We're almost there, y'all. Almost there. So thank you for the super thanks. I can't wait to see Jasper and Jade's reunion, Tabitha and Victor's reunion. Tabitha telling Victor, I was Miranda. I can channel Miranda and talk to you and give you words of encouragement and hear about the original Tabitha and Jade plus Henry and Tabitha. I mean, Henry's probably going to be upset with Miranda, but then maybe understanding because Miranda didn't have a choice to go into Fromville. So all those different reunions should be episode 1. And, you know, even though we're going to have more than likely a time jump, they could show us a flashback of just different scenes to give us that emotional beats. And then towards the end of episode 1, we get a death. That's how I would do it. So thank you, Michael Sullivan, for the super thanks and for being a channel member. I appreciate it. And also, last but not least, so want to watch something to have it in the background, I posted on the top of my post tab the playlist for all the videos I've done in case you want to play and let it go, or you want to give it to someone else who may be interested in From. There's a whole bunch of different ways or things you could do with the playlist. Enjoy. All right, so held you long enough. Now we're going to get right into it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the lovebirds. Start off with the lovebirds.
Kiss me.
It's always great to see true love. Okay. See, this is why you don't just go flying off the handle the first time you kiss somebody. All right, never mind. Yikes. I mean, he done gave her tongue and everything. Okay, I'm done cracking jokes. Okay, so we don't see Jasmine open up Kevin's chest. She just took out his tongue, what we already saw, broke his leg, messed up, I guess, his sides because this blood's coming from somewhere. Maybe she just slit his throat, and that was the end of it. But Kevin's organs are intact. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this scene is because the focus is not on Kevin, but the focus is going to be on Jasmine. So Jasmine just had her kill. She goes to the sink to clean up. I think every time the creatures go into a home, after they mess someone up, they clean themselves up. She looks like a sociopath. I think that's what this look is. This is like Jasmine's real self. Now she's in human form. So I think before she was turned into a creature, she was already like a serial killer, sociopath, psycho, cannibal, all that before being turned into a creature, before taking the Faustian bargain. So like I said before, and I'm going to bring it up later on, that I believe there was 2 Faustian bargains. The first one was for eternal life. The second one is what turned them into creatures. And just to kind of recap what I said in the previous video, the first Faustian bargain was for eternal life because they were struggling as pilgrims, plus they were they were struggling as colonists. And there's different paintings in the bottom of Henry's basement that shows pilgrims before in human form and in some type of dark form. So I think that all of them, the original townspeople plus Jade, the original Tabitha, they were colonists, and they took the Faustian bargain to have everlasting life, so they could continue to do their cult stuff of taking people out and consuming them, and also being able to just to have everlasting life and live forever. That was the first Faustian bargain. Then it was all good, and then in the 1900s, when the automobile became popular, it was difficult, in my opinion, to catch people because they're in cars. So I think that's when they made the second Faustian bargain, which they wanted to be able to create the trap, but instead of sacrificing teddy bears like they did the first time, the second time they had to sacrifice their humanity. So now they're everlasting. They have everlasting life, but they're creatures. That's what I think about that. And the reason why I say it's got to be a second one, because the bottles on the bottle tree were made in the 1900s. So you can't have the trap before the 1900s and then have the bottles made by people who weren't trapped there. So I think that Miranda brought the bottles with her when she was going to the park and got trapped in the Frumville, and that's how you have the bottle trees as far as on the faraway tree and the other bottles that are on the tree where Sarah had the seizure. And to have those bottles that were made in the 1900s, the pieces of paper in the bottles become somewhat negated because you can't have the bottles until the 1900s. So the piece of paper couldn't have existed before the 1900s, just because that paper had to be put in the bottles, and paper doesn't really last that long because it's going to be damaged by the elements. So for the pieces of paper to be in the bottles, they couldn't have been there that long. So in my opinion, I think Miranda made the pieces of paper and put them in the bottles in addition to hanging them on the faraway tree. Now, if you might say, well, the paper, maybe it was a type of paper that could have lasted 100 years. I just don't really see paper lasting 100+ years without it being taken care of. And you could say it was taken care of in the bottles, but those bottles on the bottle tree were made in 1900s. Maybe the pieces of paper were stored somewhere else and someone put them in the bottle trees or put them in the bottles on the bottle tree. There's a lot of different ways you can dice it up. I just believe that Miranda also wrote the pieces of paper, plus put them in the bottles and hung the bottle trees up on the faraway tree and the bottle tree. All right, let's keep going. And you see she's cleaning herself off, looking dead inside. Yeah, you missed a spot. Okay. Okay, so we know that she opens the window for the rest of the gang to come. Okay, so Trudy's gonna go in to the area where the creatures are laughing. I guess they lured her in. I think they were in there laughing and joking around, staging, waiting for the right time for enough people to get into Colony House to be able to attack.
What are you laughing at?
Oh. Got him.
Hi, Trudy.
How do you know my name?
We know all your names.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, so you see the blood on the pillow. So the blood on the pillow more than likely came from her face. So all of them having their hands on Trudy, they all should be bloody. Got him.
I'm just saying. I've been here longer than him. Deserve a little respect. I could really help this place. They just...
All right, so Dale is sulking. This is the scene where blood just came from the top and it just landed on Dale.
Is that blood?
Yes, it is blood. All right, so right here, I'm going to push play and show some more, but if you notice, there's blood on Smiley's mouth. There's no blood on his hands. So when they had Trudy in the huddle, because Trudy's the only dead person at this point. So when they had Trudy in the huddle, because his hands are not bloody, this means to me that Smiley wasn't involved with taking Trudy's life. He might have been there touching on her, but he wasn't the one that used his hands to take her life. But because there's blood on his mouth, he is one of the ones that more than likely drank her blood, consumed her organs. So the reason why I think that, in this theory, the reason why I think that Smiley's by himself is because everyone else is washing up their hands, washing their face. Whereas Smiley, he's like, I'm ready. I'm not even gonna clean up nothing. I'll clean up when we're done completely. So again, let me repeat. Hands are clean. Mouth is not. There's other creatures. It wouldn't be any reason for him to use his mouth to take her life when you got other creatures. I think the reason why there's blood on his mouth is because he ate her organs, drunk her blood. So now here's the frenzy. Okay, so in coming down, we see that Jasmine's hands are clean. And this creature of color, her hands are going to be clean too when I push play. So I think that while Smiley was up there having blood come out of his mouth because he just got through consuming blood and organs, everyone else went back and got cleaned up. And I think the reason why we have a creature of color is so based off of the level of melanin that she has, is more than likely that possibly she could be from, if we're saying all of the original townspeople were colonists, she may be from India. She may be, well, just South Asia. Maybe she's even from Northern Africa, as far as one of those Arab countries, just because of the level of melanin that she has. It's also possible that she could have been a part of the second Faustian deal, where she may even be the daughter of, let's say, maybe a slave master or something. And the reason why I say that is because the church, and I'm gonna do another video on this, the church is actually the same as the Arcola slave quarters that's in Virginia, Loudoun County, Virginia, and it's also similar to the Hampton National Historic Site, stone buildings that were slave quarters. And the reason why the slave quarters that I'm mentioning are in stone is because they were a higher tier than the slave quarters in America that were made of wood and that were cheap, which to me would signify either that if the church was a former slave quarter, that would mean that you either have house slaves that were in those slave quarters, or they were the children of slave masters that they had with slaves. So it could be either way. Maybe she came with them originally, or maybe she was the byproduct of enslavement or something, because Colony House does seem like it's a plantation. I don't know if anyone's going to go in that direction. That's just my guesses right now. Just putting the church building, which the church building is stone quarters. So it's also a pioneer home. So just putting the church into Google, that's what popped out was slave quarters. Now there's other type of structures such as a mess hall for military, and there's also other, because it's a European style. So there's other different types of structures similar to that. It's just, it's European style, so it could be something besides slave quarters. I'm leaning more towards slave quarters just because of how the Arcola slave quarters look and how the Hampton National Historic Site areas look. And plus, this Frumville takes place in America. And America just has a history of slavery. I mean, everywhere it does, but as far as just the idea of having a higher tier slave quarter in America, that type of thing would be more structures than just one. Whereas in America, they would only have them for house slaves and the children of slaves. You see what I'm saying? Like basically, if we're talking about colonizers that came from Europe doing it, all of the slave quarters would be stone. And there would be more buildings or structures just like the church. Because there's only one, and that one is special, in a future theory, I'm going to say that it's possible that they could have been slave quarters. And that would kind of explain why this creature of color is with them, but not with them in the final scene where Smiley is reborn, because she's one of the creatures, but not one of the original townspeople. That's what my guess would be. Or it could be that they hired her as an actress to be a creature and they couldn't get her again. Who knows? But for this video, just notice that Jasmine just got through cutting up Kevin. Hands are clean and mouth is clean. I think even her blouse is clean. So without taking into consideration that possibly they could have filmed this scene before the previous scene or something, which it could be a continuity error, just the fact that we have clean creatures, I'm going to say that Jasmine got cleaned up, Smiley did not. They're coming down, and you notice the creature of color, she's wearing like a white dress, and it's dirty because in the cave it's dirty, and you can't really keep stuff clean sleeping in the cave. It's only so much you can do, because I don't think there's any there's no washing machines in Fromville. They have to wash it by hand and hang it outside. And that's where Julie was having conversations with Fatima about Fatima telling Julie how you can get the best clothes from everyone. So the creatures, they don't have a way to really clean clothes, and then we see them in the same outfit almost every episode. So when they get dirty, they just stay dirty, except for Jasmine for some reason. So you can't really see it because of my head. Let me do this. So another shot, you got Jasmine, clean hands, clean mouth. You don't see the blood, so I don't know maybe that's a production error or something, but in this theory, there's just no blood on mouth and hands, so Jasmine went and got cleaned up. And this creature of color came in from the bathroom. I don't know why when Fatima went downstairs and went to the front door, there were creatures waiting outside. I don't know why the rest of the creatures would just come through the bathroom window. Maybe they were trying to surround them. Maybe that's the tactic they were going with. Because if they were trying to surround them, they could have surrounded every entrance, but they did not.
What's going on?
It's starting. So remember, Victor already dug the mass graves. Previous episode, he already dug the mass graves. Now he's saying it's starting. Victor hadn't even went outside to see what's going on. It could be a fight going on. It could be newcomers, like when Julie and the Matthews first arrived, people were having a commotion. Victor just automatically knows it's starting, talking about the plan the boy in white had told him about. So Ethan, Victor, boy in white, they all know about this plan. And now it is starting. The trigger event for the plan is pandemonium in Colony House. So just to kind of give you too much information in the military when it comes to planning an engagement or operation, no matter what phase that you're in, each phase starts with a triggering event. Sometimes the triggering event is going on offense. Sometimes the triggering event is spotting a high value target or a high payoff target. Other times it may be once we're put in a defensive position. There's always a trigger for a phase. And the trigger for this phase was hearing people screaming in pandemonium. So Victor probably even knew that not only is the yelling and pandemonium going to be a triggering event, but that tonight was the night it's going to go down. Because like I said before in previous videos, Colony House was an inside job.
What's starting?
We have to go.
Go where? Where are we going? Go where? Hello?
See, Victor's ready. It's almost as if Victor rehearsed this. I think Victor made sure everything was in a certain position. He rehearsed this. He's Gucci.
Answer me!
You go first. I'll follow you down.
this.
And Victor even gives her his drawings, which is like his precious item. Okay, it's precious, Lord of the Rings, if you will. So I think even the boy in white foresaw this and was like, when Julie comes up here, or maybe the boy in white says, when the girl comes up there, give her the drawings. See, look who's waiting on him. Look who's waiting on him. I'm telling you, Colony House Massacre was an inside job. Okay, so here's where I mentioned again about another production issue. Same way Jasmine didn't have the blood on her blouse, we're going to see Smiley with a clean face. See, he's walking, he's touching the plants, he's chilling. I think this is what the creatures do when no one's in the house and they get inside. They just kind of stroll along, and I think it's because the houses used to belong to the creatures. They're basically just going inside their own houses. His hands are clean. See, his face is clean. He just had blood on his face. Now the face is clean. I think it's a continuity production error. But I think it's understood that when we see him with blood in the next scene, that he consumed organs and drank some blood. Okay, so he sees blood. This is Trudy's blood. Now pay attention to this part right here. Okay, it's a blink and you miss a moment. You can see right there, you can barely see it, but her insides, or at least her chest, has been ripped open. Here it is again. Chest ripped open. Chest ripped open. Chest ripped open. So we got a ripped open chest of Trudy. Chest and stomach.
No. Maybe, no way.
All right, so this is the only time in the series that we've seen the creatures attack someone, and then we've seen not only a cadaver left over, but we've seen the creatures after attacking someone. Every other time when the creatures attack someone, like for example, the grandma creature and season 1, episode 1, when she attacked Megan and Lauren, we didn't see the grandma creature after that. After Tian Chen Lu was attacked by a bunch of creatures, we didn't see the creatures after that. This is the only time in the series that we've seen the creatures before attacking, the cadaver that's left over, busted open, and then seeing the creatures after the attack. So they leave the face. We don't see any blood on her mouth, so they didn't take her tongue. So head and hair is okay. Definitely see a throat being slashed right there. And while Smiley's come around the corner, you can kind of see right there, busted open to the left of Ellis's leg. Now you can't really see it at that angle now, but now you see her feet, and they kind of like broke her leg, I guess, to keep her from running while they ate her. So this is why I say it's a continuity thing, because we just saw Smiley, blood on his mouth, leaning over the I guess, the wall. Then we saw him clean face, no blood. Now we see him clean hands, but blood on his face. So I guess they shot this in 2 different days, maybe 3. But now we see Smiley with blood on his mouth. So okay, this is another angle right here. And unfortunately, I can't make it any bigger. This is as much they give us as far as the episode. And you can see Trudy busted open. Trudy busted open. And again, Smiley with blood on his mouth. So I don't know why, but Smiley doesn't go outside the colony, doesn't go outside of the window to go chase after Ellis. So I think maybe the creatures have a problem with heights. So when Boyd went to slash Smiley's neck and he jumped back, I think that shows a vulnerability. The creatures being burned is a vulnerability, and I think the creatures may have an issue with heights like anyone else. I mean, if the creatures get hurt, they have everlasting life, but can they heal? Okay, so this is after Ellis jumped to the ground and Fatima came to him. Here's Smiley right here. He went from the 2nd floor and he's all the way right here that fast. So they can move. I think they can move superhuman when they want to, or super fast when they want to. Because here we go. We got Smiley right here. And Ellis just came out the window and jumped down. Smiley could have jumped after him, but chose to go, I guess, all the way back out of the room, all the way back to the 1st floor, and then walked out. So they can run or power walk when they want to.
Come on, we can do this.
All right, so here comes everybody.
We have to get back in the house. We have to
No one's hands have blood.
get inside. I have an idea. Come on.
All right, so it's a blink and you miss it moment. There's kind of a tint of red on Jasmine's hands, but they're clean. Everyone else's hands seem to be clean. Clean, clean, clean. Fun fact, I think this is the original mechanic before they recast him. Maybe this mechanic died and they replaced him with a heavier set one. But we see this guy right here, chest busted open. So we saw Trudy with chest busted open. This guy right here, chest busted open. Where are the dirty hands? Where did the organs and blood go? Because the creatures didn't just take the organs and then go back to the cave and then come right back to the colony house unless they can teleport or story walk. But in this theory, the reason why we have Trudy with the chest busted open and we have this guy right here with chest busted open is because they're ripping open the chest and they're consuming the blood and eating the organs.
Please.
Don't be like that. We're having so much fun.
And she didn't even lock the door and they can't open it because of the talisman stone. So there it is. So there it is. I think it is safe to say that the creatures rip open chests, consume organs, consume blood. I think the jury's out. I want to say this is not a theory, but I know we need to actually see them eat. But I think this episode, season 1, episode 7, All Good Things, gives us more than enough to have enough evidence to say, yeah, they're consuming people. So on a previous post, I was asked if I like ruled the town or was the governor or something, what would I do for the township? I didn't answer that on the last video, so I'll just answer it real briefly here. So if I were leader of the town, the first thing I would establish is a librarian or a historian. The number one purpose of libraries is to keep track of historical information. Imagine if Miranda, Christopher, Victor, Eloise, and company, when they were in town back then, if they had a librarian who would have kept track of stuff and written stuff down, that would have been a value add for Boyd and company when they come into town. I mean, yeah, they do have the paintings and the pictures in the back of the Peach truck and Victor's drawings, but without an actual historian or librarian to organize stuff, you can't learn. So keeping track of history would be the first thing that I would establish. Second thing is I would create a council similar to the United Nations to establish policy and infrastructure to prevent war and conflict. I'm surprised we don't have more humans in the township going against each other and fighting. I mean, we've had little skirmishes here and there when food got scarce with the diner, and Tien Chen Lu had to kind of like fight people off. But there needs to be a council that will establish policy and create an infrastructure. That way they can not only learn from Boyd going into the forest and learn from and establish people who are going to spy on the creatures and get intelligence, but they could, as a council, come up with decisions on what they're going to do. And if someone like Boyd is corrupt, doing stuff to save Fatima, he needs to be taken off as sheriff. So just having Boyd as the sheriff and Donna over Colony House, and then things kind of like hit the fan and they do their own thing and they're torturing Elgin and doing whatever they want to do. There needs to be a council that will vote on stuff. And if people go rogue, someone that actually will lay down law and order and be able to vote on it versus it being like a dictator, which in a way, Boyd, I think, is heading towards that direction of being a dictator. Next, I would establish a communicator or to relay information or the news. So you probably don't watch the news on television. I don't. I get my news from social media and internet. Well, the social media, sharing media and the internet, that's a form of communication or news. The town needs that. They need someone or people who are dedicated to gathering information, figuring stuff out, and communicating it to like the population on a daily, if not weekly basis. So instead of having a town meeting whenever you feel like it, having a news outlet constantly asking Donna, hounding her for information, hounding Boyd, maybe even following Boyd around, searching for stuff, and then communicating that to the town. So that way people are informed and not just hiding and scared. Then I would do cross function. Donna needs to teach how to hunt. Donna is a hunter. There's no reason for Donna, who is a hunter, to just sit in Colony House worried about Colony House, worried about the mansion. She should be out there in the forest searching for stuff, hunting. Or Fatima teaching people how to plant. There should be more people learning how Fatima does stuff so that if something happens to Fatima, you can continue to have those skills. For example, when Tien Chen Lu died, Bacta stepped up, but Bacta's not Tien Chen Lu because Tien Chen Lu didn't pass her knowledge on to someone else. So Tien Chen Lu's knowledge is lost or was lost, and Bacta can kind of step up, but Bacta's not Tien Chen Lu. So cross function or cross training would be something else I would do. Next, I would volunteer people to help with the township. Boyd, Tabitha, and Elgin were in the back of the Peach truck. They saw that there's a map back there. Someone needs to investigate that and create a map so people know what's going on as far as in the township, do an inventory like Boyd was having Donna do when Boyd first arrived, and even map out the forest. Now, if people don't want to do it and no one wants to volunteer, then I'd be like, hey, Boyd, I know you like to go on adventures and stuff. Ask him if he can go out there and make a map. And then I would, and then, you know, Victor, he's been in town the longest, sit him down with different people and try to like get him on board with helping us and explain to him, hey, the more you help us, we get to go home and you get to get us out of your hair and you can keep your Fromville house and not have to be worried about people. And it'll be more peaches for you if we're gone. Next, I would have us establish security, Kenny and Acosta, like law enforcement and an alert system for newcomers, injuries, etc., using bells. So they already have the bell in Colony House. They ring the bell, you know, runners on the hill and all that. They need to have a system outside of Colony House, in the town, outside of Colony House. That way, if someone's outside and there are newcomers, someone should be able to ring a bell outside. Now, the creatures may do it. And now I would also establish passwords. I would establish visual recognition. I would have people roaming the town looking for stuff as far as making sure that things are secure, because in real life, a place like Fromville that is getting human trafficking victims from everywhere, who's to say that someone who's a criminal doesn't show up? Or someone who's deceitful and deceptive shows up? Or someone in town decides to turn on people? They need to have some type of law enforcement and security and more protocol than ringing the bell, which they kind of showed that season 1 with the Matthews coming into town. They need to expand upon that. And I would have Kenny and Acosta over that. Next, the last thing I would establish would be therapy. So a lot of people probably want to talk about being in Fromville, being trapped and being away from their people. There needs to be someone who's established who will listen to people's problems and actually be therapeutic. Maybe someone like Tabitha, she may be good for that. And the reason being is because someone like Randall, who feels betrayed, he was injured, no one's really talking to him about his experience. I mean, he is opening up to Julie and Marielle, but we need more than that. Because if not, people will experience something like I think like Randall has. It'll fester inside of them and they get jaded. Trauma will mold and shape their thinking to where they may become homicidal. And the next thing you know, Randall's like, the creatures do me better than y'all do. And now he's opening doors, opening windows, and doing a whole Kevin. So that's just answering my question from a previous post. And then the council will expand upon that. So there we go.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah, I know. This is the part of the show that a lot of you all may or may not like, but got to have it. Because if you don't have it, then there's no law and order established, like I just mentioned. Okay. All right, the Fromplaners. All right, so Eskimo Learning comment was held for review by YouTube. So on the original Jade and Tabitha Were Eaters video, he says they literally said it was the music. Okay, they didn't say, I mean, Jim came to that conclusion, and the Nkui kids came out and said Nkui. The Nkui kids have been saying Nkui to both Jade and Tabitha separately. They're together at that tree, said Nkui, eyes are opened. It could have been the music. It could have been the tree, the faraway tree. It could have been Jade and Tabitha being together. It could be that maybe their daughter, the original daughter, had to say it to them. We don't know. We know that what Jim proposed seemed to set off things in motion to have Jade and Tabitha's eyes opened up. We're going to do theories anyway. So, but YouTube has blocked your comment, and you are blocked because you called me the N-word. Now, I know you might say, well, wait a minute. I'm black. It's our word. I could say it. It's our word. Look, I'm gonna speak frank. I'm gonna be frank. I'm not gonna put up my warning thing or anything, but no, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
The following program is rated 14 plus and may contain coarse language, violence, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, so as far as this part of the video, if you want to click off, you can. I don't mind, because I'm going to go through the hate comments, and then I'm going to go through with my advertisement about watch ads without skipping and all that, and then that's the end of the broadcast or end of the show. So if you don't really want the from planer at this point, you want to click off, won't hurt my feelings. But we gonna address the from planers. So it's like this. It's like this. In America, there's a concept known as white supremacy. And unfortunately, white supremacy is able to happen because of another concept known as black inferiority. So you got a coin. One side of the coin is white supremacy. The other side of the coin is black inferiority. So white is not pertaining to white as a race or white people. It's just basically anti-black discrimination. Black inferiority is not talking about accepting racism or discrimination. It's just basically black people and other minorities accepting words that are disparaging and using it amongst themselves with each other, and even accepting it being used by other people to get ahead or whatever. Some people call them sellouts, coons, and all that, but it's all two different sides of the same coin. So here, name calling, put downs, your interpretation of a word, racism, sexism, discrimination is not tolerated. Maybe you did not know that. Maybe you don't believe that that's the case, but right here, I blocked it out. I took a screenshot of this and blocked it out because I didn't want to have the N-word on my screen because it's a family show. But using the N-word, using profanity, using vulgarity, sexism, racism, all the isms are just not tolerated here. And that's why YouTube held your comment, and that's why I blocked you. Now, anyone, including you, Eskimo Learning, anyone who was blocked, you can still watch the content. Blocked just means you can't comment. So you can watch the content, you can share, you can thumb up, you can do all that, you just can't comment. Because when you do try to comment, we won't see what you're commenting. If anyone wants to plead their case, my email address is in the About section. You click on all my links, it'll take you to all my links, including my email address. Those of you that have not discovered it, because a lot of you all have, a lot of you all email me already. Some of you are blocked on that as well. But those that want to plead their case to be unblocked so they can comment, preparing for season 4 from or any other type of content, you can do that. I'm not going to necessarily just accept your position, especially if you're being offensive, if you're being discriminatory, and you're being just disrespectful. We can agree to disagree. Nothing wrong with agreeing and disagreeing, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with accepting, like, hey, you know what? I hear what you're saying. You hear what I'm saying. We don't agree. We'll just shake hands and ride off into the sunset. You know, you don't know me, I don't know you. But when it gets to a point where someone is triggered, they're emotional to the point where they're hysterical, going through mania, maybe they have some type of issue, they want my attention, and it's in a negative way, you're just permanently blocked. You can find somewhere else to go to, but you can still watch the content. You can't comment. So Eskimo Learning, you're blocked. You can reach out to me and plead your case as to why you should be unblocked. But using the N-word, not only is YouTube not going to like it, I'm not going to like it either. Okay? And if you're like, well, I'm black and it's my word, it's our word, I don't go with that. I don't go with that whole black inferiority stuff. That can be your life. It's not mine. All right. Okay, last one. Sleepy Owl 4.
The more you f*** around, the more you're going to find out.
Yes. So Sleepy Owl 4 says, I loved your show. I will never watch another video due to your comments about Israel. I thought this was about the TV show From. It is about the TV show From. I use Israel as an illustration. Now, I will say this much. When it comes to like economics, finance, religion, politics, on one video I may feel one way, and on another video I may say something that's completely different. I could be all over the place. Or I could stay on the same course of action as far as what I believed the first time. I may even change my view based off of someone else's opinion, or I may stand on my position. It's just an opinion. Now, if my thoughts on Israel, based off of me being in America, seeing stuff on TikTok that people who are in the Gaza Strip had posted and showed us, and Israel's soldiers posted and showed us, and also you got other apps. I can get you some names. You have Telegram, you have WhatsApp, you got a lot of different apps that allow you to FaceTime encrypted. I've just seen a lot of stuff. Plus, I've deployed with the Army, and I've seen stuff for myself. And I'm going to say this much: we don't know the truth. We may never know the truth. All we can do is form an opinion if we want to, and if people want to debate and discuss, nothing wrong with that. If people disagree, I think it's okay to hear each other out and agree to disagree. Because if you can't agree to disagree and you can't accept someone else's opinion and respect it, because I'm going to respect yours, but if you can't really respect anyone else's opinion or their viewpoint and hear them out, then this is not the place for you. This channel is not for people who are tender, sensitive, people who are pushing an agenda, people who already have their mind made up and they want others to have their mind equal to theirs, or someone wanting to impose their will on others. This is more like a free thinking place. I mean, it's called Parkland Media, even though I do From content right now. In the past, I've done other content. In the future, is going to be other content. Other film, other maybe some news stuff. It's media. It's Parkland Media. It's not Parkland From or Parkland left wing, Parkland right wing, Parkland conservative, Parkland liberal, Parkland Democrat, Republican. I'm not any of that. I'm actually independent. I'm more of an individualist. I'm a free thinker. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing rants less because it takes up a lot of time. Like right now, we're already on here like an hour. So I'm going to try to like scale back the rants just so the videos aren't really long. But yeah, I mean, if you don't like it here, you don't have to be here. And you said this is the last video you're going to watch. You'll never watch another video again. You know what? You're blocked. Okay? So YouTube already held your stuff for review. You're blocked. You can still watch the content. You can't comment. You can plead your case too if you want to. There's other places you can go that'll tell you what you want to hear or not tell you what you don't want to hear. That's cool, but you're blocked. Go forth. Do great things.
KO!
All right, so there's that. So if you've made it this far, I appreciate it. You're the real MVP. Watch ads without skipping, please. Become a channel member. Become a YouTube premium member. Donate through Super Thanks. If you don't want to do Super Thanks, you can donate through Cash App. That's $Spade Parkland. Thumb up the video. Comment in the comment section. Share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. If watching on a cell phone and see the hype button, click the hype button. Hype me up if you see it when you see it. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video. Share it to your social media. Subscribe. Click the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.